And we are live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another live Q&A here on the Film Stock channel. It is Wednesday. It is January 10th. And this is no ordinary live stream because I have to even almost break the news. For non-sports people, this is going to mean nothing to you. But to me, this means everything. Nick Saban has retired. Head coach of the Alabama Crimson Tide. The kryptonite of the Georgia Bulldogs recently has retired. And bright days are ahead for the sport. Bright days are ahead for my team. Bright days are ahead for the nation. So let's just have that. Go Dogs. Honestly, go any team that's not Alabama right now because it's just a win nationally. But anyway, I'm happy because of that. So let's have a damn good stream. Welcome in, everybody. Fire off your questions in the chat. As always, let's talk the Mando movie. Let's talk Stranger Things 5. Let's talk all that and more. Drop your questions in the chat. I will not be able to get to everything in this stream, but Super Chat's the way to go to guarantee that I can get right to your question, right to your comment, right to your concern. It's also a huge way to help support me directly. I see we've got 75 people in here. So if you're in here, hit that like button. Let's get to 75 likes. Do it. Hit that thing. But yeah, let's go. Let's just dive right into the madness. All right. Yes, be sure to hit that like button. Helps out more than you guys know. Do it. Here we go. First question. Imagine if everybody's expecting Steve to die, but it makes it to the end. So I've gone back and forth on Steve an endless amount of times on his fate. If they did that, if he makes it, I'll be happy is what I'm trying to say. I really hope he does. Stranger Things 5 release date, we do not know yet. We don't know yet. Potentially, my guess is late 2025, hopefully summer, but Stranger Things Day would be ideal. We have 95 people in here. What's going on, everybody? Welcome in. If you're new to the stream, let me know. 100 people in here. Wow. Thank you guys for showing up on this Wednesday. Hit that like button. It helps out more than you know. Let's get to 100 likes. Let's do it. And Super Chat's the way to go to that. I guarantee you. Right to your question, right to your comment, right to your concern, because I'm not going to be able to get to everything in the chat. David's in the house. What's good, David? How you been, man? I hype for Fall Guy. Yeah, the Fall Guy with Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt and Aaron Taylor Johnson. Very excited. This is in my top 10 most anticipated of the year. I honestly think this movie's going to rule. And coming from someone who really liked Bullet Train, I think this is going to be right up my alley. I'm pumped for this one. I think it's going to be a damn good film. No other way to cut it. Yeah, action comedy, Ryan Gosling doing his thing. Yeah, I'll take it. Lisa, hello. Byron, what's up? My friend's dad worked on the Fall Guy. Any inside info? No, I'm kidding. Connor says top 3 live action Jokers. I'll go Heath Ledger. I'll go Joaquin. I'll go live action. Heath Ledger and Joaquin are the clear 1 and 2. I'll go Jack Nicholson, number 3. Jack Nicholson, number 3. We have 118 people in here, Raul. This is crazy. So if you guys are in here, thank you. Welcome. And hit that like button. It helps out more than you know. We have our first super chat from Henry. Thoughts on the Golden Globes and the unfunny host. Also, Cillian Murphy won the Golden Globe, and I'm happy about that. Thank you for the super chat. Love the De Niro profile picture, by the way. What a legend he is. Yeah, I watched the Golden Globes. I didn't really talk about that. I've kind of been wishy-washy with awards over the years. But no, I watched the Golden Globes actually on FaceTime with Cam, my girlfriend, for those who don't know. Podcast link down below, by the way. But no, I watched the whole thing. Host was painfully unfunny, horribly written. Ugh. I just spit everywhere. I just spit everywhere because of how grossed out I am by that hosting job. It was disgusting. Joe Coy, not gonna lie, hadn't heard of the man until the Golden Globes, but regardless, not my thing. Cillian Murphy winning though, hell yeah to that. I think Cillian wins the Oscar now. And I know the Golden Globes aren't like a, set in stone. If you win a Golden Globe, you win the Oscar. That's not how it works. They're very different in terms of how they dictate who gets nominated and who wins. But I do think it's promising. And I feel like this is Oppenheimer's year to just sweep it on up at the Oscars. It's going to win Best Picture, Director, Score, Actor, Supporting Actor. That's 5 right there. And we haven't even, I think cinematography, that's 6. I think it wins at least 5 Oscars for Oppenheimer. But I was very happy Cillian won. And when he got up there, he was like, do I have lipstick on my face? I'm just going to roll with it or whatever. He's a funny dude, and I hope he gets his Oscar. It's the performance of the year. Excuse me. It's the best lead performance of the year to me in terms of the male category. And so I hope that he gets that Oscar. It's his time. We got a super chat here. Thank you. Any questions associated with it, let me know, and I'll answer. All right. Keeping on with this. By the way, if you guys are in here, let's get to 100 likes. I have no clue how many likes we're at right now, but just do it. It helps out. It really does help out a lot. Trust me, more than you guys know. Am I excited for the new Karate Kid? So I've talked about this a lot recently. And I think it's become evident to me that I can't fully answer this question until we see the final season of Cobra Kai. Now, the creators have said on Twitter they're not associated with this movie in any way. They're not like writing it, they're not directing it, right? The new Cobra Kai film that comes out in supposedly December of this year when they haven't even started filming seems a little shady to me, at least. But anything's possible, I guess. So look, I have to wait until I've seen the entirety of Cobra Kai to answer this question, because they could be lying on Twitter. They could have some tricks up their sleeves where they're like, hey, look, we lied. We actually are creating this film or have, producing credits or whatever. So I don't really know how to feel. I don't like the idea of them making a Karate Kid film that's not connected to Cobra Kai canonically, because that feels like it's spitting in the face of Cobra Kai to me, and that's not what I want. I love the care they've taken with Cobra Kai, and giving us satisfying conclusions to characters is what I hope will happen in that final season, both with the legacy characters and the new generation. But regardless, bringing in Jackie Chan from the reboot, remake, whatever you want to call it, right, and mixing it in with the original film with Daniel, I don't know how to feel about that. And so I hate to be pessimistic here, but I have a feeling this Karate Kid film is just Sony trying to capitalize on the success of the Karate Kid name. And they're trying to do the No Way Home thing where it's like, look, we're combining the legacies of Karate Kid, when in reality, that's not what it should be, especially when Cobra Kai exists. So that's my biggest fear, is that it will be a disservice to the conclusion of Cobra Kai. And that's my biggest fear with it. So I'm more on the fence about it than anything else. Super chat here from Pop Lummy. Who do you think will die in Stranger Things 5? So I get asked this one a lot, and my answer changes frequently just because I'm always, getting new information. We're getting new set picks. We're getting new teases from the Duffers, right? Right now, it's one I've said quite frequently. It's probably if someone were to go and pull up, a poll of if someone were to tally, I should say, every time I said a Stranger Things character was going to die in season 5, this character would probably be the number one answer. And I'm going to stick with it. I think 11's going to bite the dust for real. Millie Bobby Brown has been vocal in the past about how Game of Thrones needs to kill off characters a la Game of Thrones, and I think they're finally going to do that. They've got one season left. Someone's biting the dust. I'm looking right in the eyes when I say this. Someone is dying in this final season. They will not go 5 seasons of television without a major character dying. And now that this is the final season for sure, there's really no reason to get cold feet and be like, oh, we got to save him for next season. Like, I feel they did that with Max last season personally. But there's no room for that anymore. They can do basically whatever they want. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I firmly believe 11 will die right now. That could change tomorrow if I get new information. But I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, let's flip a coin, Hopper or 11. One of them is biting the dust. So we'll see. But thank you for the super chat. Another one from Movie Reviewer 101. What's good, Kyle? How you doing? Let's see. Keep Watch Burn. Okay, cool. Keep Watch Burn. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Indiana Jones and Braveheart. Okay, so that's 3 movies. In which Indiana Jones? Is it all of them? I think it might be all of them. If it's all of them, I'm keeping those, obviously. But even if it's if I get to pick, right? If I go the first Indy or the third Indy, I'm picking Indiana Jones out of those. I'll watch Braveheart, an epic film. I can quote the whole William Wallace monologue. I'll spare you. But I am able to do that. I actually did it at like a talent show thing once in high school. It was pretty funny. But anyway, I would then burn The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Solid watch. Ennio Morricone, I believe, composed its iconic Western that everyone should watch once. But it's the least watchable of those 3, in my mind. But thank you for the super chat. Great question. All right. Let's do this thing. Shout out Starcourt Food Court, by the way. If you're Stranger Things fans in here, you should go follow Starcourt Food Court on Twitter and Instagram. Great news source and Stranger Things page right there. So go check them out and just look up Starcourt Food Court on socials. Are there any Blu-rays you're planning to switch for 4K Ultra HD? Good question. I thought about this recently. And on the topic of Karate Kid, they released a really cool 4K box set of the trilogy. And I only own the first Karate Kid film, and it's on Blu-ray Steelbook. It's actually the first Steelbook I ever bought. And so I've been looking at that, and it was like out of print for a bit, but I think it's back in stock on Amazon for about $80, which is for a 3-pack 4K nice box art. Like, that's not a terrible deal. It's the 4K and the Blu-ray. So I'm thinking I'm going to do that at some point and get the Karate Kid box set, because Cobra Kai's coming up. I'll obviously want to rewatch the trilogy, and I want to just own my favorite movies. And I love the Karate Kid, so I know I already owned the Karate Kid 1, but to own the other two would be cool, as opposed to having to hunt them down on different streaming services, if that makes any sense. But that's kind of just how I feel about that. Network 98 with the super chat, keeping the craving alive. For those who don't know, you're like, what the hell is the craving? It's a inside joke here on the streams. But no, the NFL, I did see, yeah, I opened the stream with a Nick Saban talk. Nick Saban has retired. Alabama downfall is beginning in my mind. You can't tell me I'm wrong, by the way. I think there's going to be a clear dip in production on the field next season. And I think they'll lose 3 games, maybe even 4. Call me crazy. We'll see. Depends on who they end up landing at head coach. But thank you for the super chat, Network 98. And it's that crazy time of year for coaching madness. And yeah, it's just going to keep on getting crazier. Mark with the super chat. Thank you, Mark. How would you deal with the love triangle in Stranger Things 5 if you were the writer? How would you end Steve's story? Nancy's? Jonathan's? I'm going to take a sip of water before I answer this. By the way, one more. Water is the greatest drink ever. I'd die on that hill. Let's see. This is a great question. So if it was in my hands, right, to end this show, I would probably handle the love triangle in a way where over the course of the season, we see Jonathan and Steve bonding, right? So we see a lot of scenes with just them two because they haven't had many over the course of the show, period. And so if we got a lot of scenes with them sort of bonding and, becoming buddies in a way, right? That would be my start to the love triangle. That way, when we reach the end of the season and Nancy ends up with one of the two, we as the audience are more accepting of it and don't feel bitter towards the person who ends up with Nancy if that's not what we wanted, right? I've always been a Stancy guy. I think that for the story and the character arcs, Stancy would serve a better purpose, narratively speaking, and just be more satisfying in my mind, especially after season 4 when they just kept teasing Stancy. Jonathan wasn't in the picture pretty much, right? And Jonathan was also lying to Nancy about college and all these things and like not giving her the full truth. And so Steve and Nancy had a lot more time to shine. Specifically, I want to say it's in episode 7 of season 4 when like Steve's wound is getting wrapped up by Nancy. Like there's palpable tension there. You can literally feel the tension between the two of them. Also, I think the scene in the RV where Steve's talking about how he wants, the kids and how he would love to have an RV, go on family vacations, load it up with the little nuggets running around. Like I feel like that was foreshadowing Nancy and Steve together. Now, that being said, how would I handle it? Like I said, I would handle it where Jonathan and Steve develop a good relationship. Nancy ultimately ends up with Steve. Jonathan goes and does whatever, or makes a sacrifice play for Will. That's a topic for another time. But Stancy would be the end game for me of those 3. And I'm happy with that. I just think that serves the characters better. But there's also an alternative where Nancy ends up with none of them. Everyone goes their own way and grows independently. That might be for the best. But if I'm having to choose between Jancy or Stancy right now, and it's probably not going to change, I am Team Stancy. Movie Reviewer 101 with another super chat. Thank you. My most anticipated are Deadpool 3, The Boys, Joker, Stranger Things, and Cobra Kai 6. What are yours besides Stranger Things? So if we're just talking anticipated things in general, Deadpool 3 is my most anticipated movie of the year. Really looking forward to Cobra Kai season 6. I am beyond pumped for the Batman 2 whenever that comes out. I don't know if it'll end up coming out next year or not, but that is high on the priority list for me. I'm a huge Batman guy. Like this film right here, 5 out of 5. My favorite Batman movie right behind me. But no, yeah, I would say of all the movies in the future that I'm the most excited for, besides like Deadpool 3, the Batman 2 is really high on that list. I'm excited for The Conjuring 4, surprisingly. It's not like up there, but I am excited for that one. And yeah, I also want to shout out a movie that was like recently announced today. PTA's next movie with Leo, Sean Penn, and Regina Hall. I'm pumped. I am pumped for that thing. So yeah, that's going to be electric. I mean, Leo and PTA have never worked together. PTA, I'm ready. I am ready. So those are my most anticipated things besides Stranger Things, to give you a little insight. Movie fans with the super chat saying, do you think Argyll will be good? I want it to be. You know, we've been talking Stranger Things. I literally was like, are we talking about the character? Will he be good? You're referring to the movie. Matthew Vaughn's directing. It's coming out in February, I want to say. Water break. Yeah, I don't think this is going to be good. I've seen the trailer twice, I want to say. Fortunately, when I go to some of these early screenings, I don't have to watch trailers, but this has been overplayed, to say the least. I just have a feeling it's going to be like a 40 to 50 on Metacritic type of movie where it's serviceable. It might kill, an hour and a half, 2 hours on a plane one day for you and be entertaining enough. But at the end of the day, there's not going to be much memorable about it. So I'm going to say no. I don't think it will be good. I'm rooting for any movie. Matthew Vaughn directed the Kingsman films and First Class, I want to say. So he's got it. But does he have it for this? I don't know. Stranger Fan 101 with the super chat. Thank you so much. Love that profile pic, by the way. Such a sweet, underrated moment from season 2. Do you think Mike Wheeler will be the main character in Stranger Things 5 like he was in season 1? And what will his storyline be like? I do not think Mike will be the main character. I think there's going to be a heavy focus on Will Byers. I think there will be a heavy focus on Hopper and Eleven. I think Mike will have a more prominent role than he did in season 4, undoubtedly, because he was really in the back seat. He was in, like, how if you have like a minivan, you got the front seat, the middle seat, and then the back that you have to, like, some cars you have to like put down. You actually have to pull the seats up. They're already down. It's just trunk space. Mike's back there right now. So if he has any, remotely a larger role than he did last season, then he's damn near a main character, because he was not in it much at all last year. In fact, none of the California storyline really was. But here's what I'm saying. His storyline will be, it'll be involved with the main plot. I mean, he's going to be with 11 the majority of the time. I think Will, 11, and Mike will have a lot of scenes together. Dustin and Lucas included, but I do think they will be with Max and Erica. And then you have to factor in, like, yeah, they want to go back to the roots of season 1 with the character groupings, but Dustin and Steve are like brothers. They got to have, their fair share of scenes too. So in terms of character groupings, which usually happen in, each season, like in season 3, for example, we had Robin, Steve, Erica, Dustin. We had, Hopper, Joyce, Murray, like that. We'll get that dynamic developed at some point in season 5. But I do think Mike will be important, but the focus won't be fully on him. Will, I think, will probably have his biggest season this year, to answer your question. But I'm excited. And honestly, it's going to be good to return to form, because Mike and Will both were out of the picture, honestly, a lot in season 4. When I think season 4, I don't think Mike and Will. So they're going to have a bigger role, undoubtedly. Sorry, I'm talking so fast. I need to take a water break. Jamal's Bacon. Great username. What is your leading theory for Stranger Things 5? I think either Jonathan or Joyce will die. Joyce dying would be just insane, in my opinion. Insane if they killed her. My leading theory for season 5, it's a tough one. There's a lot out there. I honestly, more and more, and I'm not just saying this to cater to a crowd of people who might be delusional, I firmly believe Eddie is coming back. Now, there's more and more evidence each week that just makes this more and more valid, in my opinion. I don't know why the Duffer Brothers continue to tease Eddie on social media. And then what really has me believing is that they put out a picture of that cast list with character names, and one of them was scribbled out. And then a few weeks later, they dropped, Stranger Things season 5 production starts, and it's a picture of all the cast, and Max Mayfield is there, Sadie Sink, and Jamie Kimmel Bower's there, and even Linda Hamilton's there, and the actress who plays Vicky is there. Amy Beth McNulty, I want to say is her name. And they're all in this room, and the Duffers posted it, and Stranger Things posted it, so why would they scribble out any of their names on the cast list? Could say Eddie Munson. Now, I'm not saying Eddie could be alive. It could be a flashback. It could be a vision. It could be anything. But Eddie will appear. Eddie will appear in the final season. I'd put money on it right now. Whether he's alive or dead, we kind of have to find out, right? It's up to interpretation. He will appear. He will. Jason Cruz in the house. Shout out, Jason. Thank you for the super chat, man. Appreciate that. Samuel with a super chat saying, could Will end up with Mike? If not, maybe... Excuse me. Could Will end up with Mike? If not, maybe if 11 dies? I don't see a world where the Duffers take the route of Byler. Isn't that what the folks call it, Will and Mike? I just don't see it happening. And you know, I just don't see that as the end game based on where we've built up the 4 seasons. They've built up 11 and Mike's relationship so much. I just don't see them getting off. That makes sense. Now, it does add an interesting dynamic to that triangle of characters with Will clearly having feelings for Mike, right? It's in the van scene and well acted, all that. But I just don't see that being the end game. And I think that if they were going to go that route, they would have had to have committed to it in season 4 fully, and I don't think they did. They teased something for sure, right? But I just don't think that's the route they're going to go. So I don't think Will's going to end up with Mike. Even if 11 dies, I don't see it happening. So no, that's just my opinion. Everyone is entitled to their own, but I don't think they're going to go that route. Movie Reviewer 101 with another super chat. Thank you so much. Deadpool 3 is coming out on my dad's birthday, and we are going to... Excuse me, sorry. Deadpool 3 is coming out on my dad's birthday, and we are going to rent the whole theater. Linda is going to be Bean's sister for sure, guaranteed. Wait, what did I just read? Are you referring to Bean's Aaron Garin from the Even Stevens show? Well, I hope you enjoy Deadpool 3. It's my most anticipated of the year. It comes out July 26th. I'm in my friend's wedding on July 27th. However, that will not interfere. There's Thursday screenings, and hopefully we'll have an early screening of the movie. But regardless, I don't really understand the back half of this, and it's getting a good laugh out of me. Linda is going to be Bean's sister for sure, guaranteed. My mind just went to the Even. If you're an Even Stevens guy or gal, let me know in the chat. Incredible though. Thank you for the super chats, by the way, movie reviewer. Mark says, do you honestly think 08 will be back? I hope not. So thank you for the super chat, Mark. I don't. I know a lot of people do. I do not. If 8 was coming back, or Callie, whatever your preference is, I don't think they would have saved it for the final season. I think she would have appeared last season. The stakes were high enough last season to where if they needed her help, they would have sought it out. I don't see them going, oh, let's bring her back for the final season. She's a fan favorite. People love that episode. They might mention her, but that's going to be forever the one sort of loose end of the show. But even then, we got clarity and closure with that relationship when 11 went her separate way. So I just don't think they're going to bring it back. That's my answer. I know a lot of people out there are like, she is coming back, and I actually want her to come back because it could redeem the Lost Sister episode. I just don't see it happening. So no, I can't see it happening in my mind. Another super chat. Thank you guys so much. You're crushing it with the support on the stream for the super chats. And I'll get to we're going to do a speed round of the regular chat here in a second. Have you seen The Boys or Invincible? If so, what are your thoughts? There's some great superhero shows that aren't Marvel or DC. So I've seen both. Now, I am not caught up on Invincible. I watched Invincible season 1 in 2021. I have not watched season 2 part 1 yet. And I know season 2 part 2 comes out. Is it next? Or it's this year, excuse me. They don't have a release date though. But they might. I actually don't know. But no, I think that Invincible season 1 is really good TV. I gotta watch it again though as a refresher because I haven't seen it in 3 years almost, which is crazy to say out loud. Man, that's wild. But no, I liked Invincible. The Boys I love. I've seen all 3 seasons. I have not watched Gen V, but I have seen both shows technically. In terms of The Boys, can't wait for season 4. Season 4 is one of the more anticipated shows of the year comfortably. And Jeffrey Dean Morgan being added to that cast rocks. I mean, yeah, bring it on. I'm excited for both. I'll catch up on Invincible. I'll also catch up on Gen V. But I agree, they're actually better quality superhero shows than the majority, if not all of, the MCU Disney Plus shows. And, I mean, arguably better than some of the DC television. Peacemaker's really good. But, yeah, I think about it, and I'm like, The Boys, is it the premier superhero show? I don't know. You've got your Daredevils, your Punishers of the world, your Lokis of the world, but is The Boys in the conversation comfortably. It's comfortably in the conversation. But great question. Appreciate the super chat. And I'm going to do a little speed round. Again, super chat guarantees that I get right to your question, comment, or concern. Huge way to help support me directly. And if you guys are in here, hit that like button. I don't know how many likes we're at, but if we get 100 likes, that'd be crazy. I don't even know. We might have already hit it. Let me actually check. Currently at 101 likes. So keep hitting the like button if you're in here. And if you're on the replay, welcome in. But we're going to do a little normal chat for a sec. Ben with a Keep Watch Burn, Rocky Gladiator, Back to the Future. I'm going to keep Back to the Future. I'm going to watch Rocky. I'm going to burn Gladiator. Hurts my heart to do that, but it's just got to be the way of the world. Let's see. Talked about this earlier. Bring it on. Bring it on. It's time. It's Kirby's time, baby. It's Kirby's time. Let's see. I think Oppenheimer's going to win Best Picture at the Oscars for sure. Ahsoka season 2. I mean, I'm glad they're continuing the story. It feels necessary. I don't love the way season 1 ended. And now I can feel a little more satisfied with it, I guess, because we know we're getting continuation of the story. But for a bit there, when we were just like, are we getting to season 2 or not? It felt like one of the most just up in the air seasons of TV I've ever seen. So really glad that's actually happening. Marvel Wholesome says, win a 2024 movie room tour. Probably in the coming months, I'll do one. I would love to get back to that. And I'll have a Blu-ray collection hopefully soon as well. Excuse me. Let me take a sip of water. Samuel with the super chat. Thank you, Samuel. Have I seen any of, sort of the fan art of Mike and Will? Could Mike still have feelings for Will regardless of Byler? I don't think it's going to happen. I know that there's fan art out there of Mike and Will, and that there's a lot of fans who hope that does happen. I just don't think that's the route they're going. And I want to say it was an interview of, I forget who it was. It was either the Duffers or Millie or Finn Wolfhard. It was somebody. And they were talking about how Eleven and Mike's relationship has been developed so much. And that's kind of what I was touching on earlier, is that it would almost be an abandonment of the character development up to now if they were to be like, no, we're going to actually do Mike and Will in this final season. So I don't see them going that route. Anything is possible. I'm not the Duffer Brothers. They could do whatever the hell they want, right? But I just think they're going to go the route of Eleven and Mike. And the end of season 4 kind of further proves that with the whole I love you scene. Sorry, I'm talking so fast. I just think that's going to be where they focus when it comes to relationships for Mike. So we'll see. But anything's possible. I'm not going to shut anything down. We'll have to see. They could kill everyone off and end with the show being a damn dream for all we know. Be horrible, but they have the power to do it. All right. Let's see. Am I a big Star Wars fan? Thoroughly enjoy Star Wars. I have my issues with it. I think that Star Wars fans should be able to critique it without being called, negative and you hate everything. I despise parts of Star Wars, but I adore parts of Star Wars. But the original trilogy is my favorite trilogy of all time. I got the posters on my wall over there. It's my childhood. Will Stranger Things 5 reach number 1 on Netflix? Absolutely. Absolutely. Thoughts on movies for 2024? I'm pumped for Deadpool 3, Inside Out 2, Gladiator 2. Those are just a few that come to mind, but I'm excited. Nicholas says, have you seen American Fiction? I have. I highly recommend American Fiction. Jeffrey Wright and Sterling K. Brown are great in it. It's just a clever movie, with a very, I'd say, a smart social commentary, and the movie's funny. It's emotional at times. Jeffrey Wright is like one of the most slept on actors right now. And he's my Gordon. People are they're like spitting on him on Twitter. They're like, this guy stinks. He's the worst Gordon. I'm like, what movie did we watch? He's actually him and Batman are actually partners in crime. That's what I want out of Gordon. Gary Oldman's fantastic too. They're both great, but like to say that he's the worst Gordon is a disservice to film. Is Robin a good character? Robin's an elite character. I love Robin Buckley. She's at many times in my top 5 favorite, actually. What do I think will happen to Joyce in season 5? Joyce and Hopper will have a happy ending. That's my prediction. There's no way they kill both of them. But you never know. That's the scary thing, is anything's possible. Let's see. Who's your favorite villain in Stranger Things? Gotta be Vecna. Gotta be Vecna. Has to be. No other choice, in my opinion. Literally, there's no other choice. Clearly. But I do like in season 3 when Billy takes a bit of a villainous turn. It's not Billy, it's actually Vecna. But Billy, that one scene in particular, I think I want to say Ep 6. Could be off base there. I want to say it's at end of episode 6 when like we get the operatic music playing. That's one of the best scenes of season 3 and one of the best scenes of the show. Let's see. Huh. Can we talk about how there's 5 spots for best actor in a series and Succession got 3 of them? I'm sure the show is great, but my lord. Yeah, I've heard nothing but great things about Succession. It's on my watch list. My buddies watch it. A lot of people I know watch it. It's adored by critics and people around the world. That is high praise. Yeah, I guess it is that good though. That's what I've heard. It's that good. So we should, I don't know, honestly, but that is wild. Succession and like getting all those noms for the actors. Pretty nuts. Pretty nuts. Let's see. Jack's in the house. What's good, Jack? I have not seen Severance. I know it's only one season and it's on Apple TV Plus. But it's another one of those shows on my list, my ever-growing list of TV that I need to watch. And people have always said, you got to watch Severance. So I'll get around to it at some point. I think they're doing a second season, and so maybe I'll do a little like binge it before that. But it's not like number one on priority. I want to watch so many things right now. I'm watching It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia right now. I'm about to be on season 8. It's my comfort comedy show. It's so I laugh my ass off every day watching it. Like it's fantastic. Do you think Max will die? I don't. I think if they were going to kill Max, they would have killed her last season, and they missed the opportunity. The ship has sailed. Samuel with another super chat. Thank you, Samuel. I love the Iron Man profile pic, by the way. That's my favorite MCU character. Will comes out in Stranger Things 5. Will comes out in Stranger Things season 5. Stranger Things is about facing fears, right? Yes, but I think he already kind of did in a way. I guess maybe you're asking, does he tell everyone about his sexuality? And in that case, I don't know. It's kind of already happened in a way. He had the scene with Jonathan. Jonathan clearly has an understanding of his brother. The scene in the van kind of pretty obviously indicated that. So I honestly, it's hard to say. Again, it's up to the Duffers if they want to write that in or not. We'll have to see. We'll play it by ear, I guess, and as fans we'll find out. But I would not be shocked if this happened, is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, it's very much in the realm of possibility that there is a scene where Will tells his friends. Keep watch burn potential seasons of TV: Cobra Kai season 6, Stranger Things season 5, and The Last of Us season 2. So for those wondering, this is keep watch burn is where I keep one, meaning I can watch it whenever. I watch one, meaning I watch it once. Burn means I never see it. And this is for potential shows, potential seasons of shows. So it's a guessing game. Obviously, I'm going to keep Stranger Things 5. I have the most confidence in that. And I firmly believe it will cap off the great show in my life, one of the greatest shows ever, and my favorite show. So I'll keep Stranger Things 5. Then, and this is easy for me, and here's why. I'll watch Cobra Kai season 6 because I have to see how the show ends. It's the confirmed final season of the show, and so I have to watch that to see how Cobra Kai ends. And then I'll burn The Last of Us season 2. My reason being is I've played The Last of Us Part 2, the game, the second Last of Us game. And so I kind of know what's going to happen. So I'm not dying to see The Last of Us season 2. I'm more intrigued to see how they handle adapting the source material. I think there's a route where The Last of Us season 2 is much better than The Last of Us game. The second game, I should say. Last of Us 2 game. So I would go that route. Though I am curious to see how they adapt it. And I won't say anything, but for those who have not played The Last of Us, the second game, you got to get on it. Is Dustin going to die? No, I think Dustin is arguably the safest character out of any of the main characters to kill. Like, he is so safe, in my opinion. What was the most fun and cool place to visit while filming a Stranger Things location vlog? For those who don't know, I do have a Stranger Things location vlog. I think I did 2 of them not last year, 2022. Time flies. So the most fun. I'm not going to lie. It was really cool to go to the school. And we got in. I mean, you can go watch the video to see how some of that went. But we were in the gym and everything. And it was like, this is nostalgic. And I wasn't like, it took me back to season 1 and season 2 in a way. And it was special to be there for sure. The lab, on the other hand, was terrifying. I was literally scared the entire time. I didn't know if someone was going to run out and I was going to die in that lab, you know? So it would be a hell of a place to go, I guess. But I would have made the news. Anyway, that is, it was scary. The lab was. So I don't know if I'd ever go back, but the school is probably the coolest thing to go to. And I feel like that's like the landmark of Stranger Things filming. If you think of all the locations, like you've got the lab and you've got the school, right? I can't think of any. I mean, downtown is neat, obviously. We went to the pool from season 3. Where else did we go? We went a lot of places. We went to Family Video. We went to the. Oh, what am I saying? Totally blanked. The Creel house was awesome to go to, especially when you go and you're like, wow, there's nothing across the street except like a funeral home. There's not a park. I think in the show there's like a playground set up across the street, and there's like endless road to the right. When in reality, if you're like standing, so like the Creel house is behind me and I'm looking at the road. If you look to the right, my right, I should say, like if I look that way, there's like it's like a busy road, like a merge onto another road. What really wild how they pulled that off. But the Creel house, the top 3 would be the Creel house, the lab, and the school. Have you had the chance to watch Echo yet? For me, at least, this was a project I thought would fall flat, but was pleasantly surprised. So, Avery, that's a great question, and it's funny you mention it because I'm editing my review as we speak. My review of Echo will be up by the end of the day, and at least in the U.S. It's 6:30 out here. So whenever the stream ends, I'll finish editing and post it. But I have a lot of thoughts. I don't want to say too much because the review's coming soon. But um, you know, I I have thoughts, and I'm not crazy about the show. I thought that it really missed a lot of, there was a lot of potential. I'll say that much. I don't want to spoil anything for those who haven't watched it, but it felt rushed. I'll say that much. I have a lot more in-depth thoughts in my review dropping soon, so be on the lookout for that. But it felt really rushed for me. We have another super chat saying, in my opinion, Will is in danger as much as Elle. Thoughts? I agree. Will and Eleven are not safe. One of those characters is likely to bite the dust because they both have a connection to the Upside Down. I just don't see both of them getting out alive, but this could be a Guardians 3 scenario, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, where they almost die, and we as the audience feel almost the impact of their loss because they're so close to death, and we get that reaction of all the characters around them, but then they just escape the odds and they live. That could be the route they go. Now, I agree. Will is in just as much, if not more, danger. I mean, remember they teased the cold open of the season, of the final season? Likely Will in the Upside Down in flashback form. So, yeah, Will's in danger. Will is in grave danger, as well as 11, but neither of them is 100% safe. In fact, I'd argue they're some of the least safe characters of the mains. Let's see. Thoughts on Scream 7? It'll never happen. Rip Scream. I love Scream. It's done, though. And it's my favorite horror franchise, and it's done for a while. They need to hang it up for about a decade. Have you watched First Shadow? I have not had the opportunity to, and if it ever goes on tour to the US, I'll definitely go, but it's in London only, and I'm not going to London. It's expensive, and it's hard. So I would love to, and I hope to one day, but I haven't. Do I know anything about Wednesday season 2? No, not really. I think they said they want to make it more horror as opposed to like comedy with like romance vibes. I think they want to go more in on the horror. That's all I think I've read, and that might not even be 100% true. Ian Bigwood, the man. What's good, Ian? What movies would you recommend to people to get to know you better? Damn good question, Ian. That's like I don't get asked this one much. Wow. I would have to look. I'm going to my letterbox right now, actually. I would definitely say Remember the Titans. That's a movie that I watched, when I was really young, and I love football, and so American football specifically, and so that movie's always resonated deeply with me. Raiders of the Lost Ark, but excuse me, I mean, that's a tough one because it can be interpreted so many ways too, which is the cool part of it. Movies that I quote a lot is kind of a way I go about this. I quote Once Upon a Time in Hollywood a lot. I quote Good Will Hunting a lot. I think those would be good answers. The Social Network. I mean, it's really just random, honestly. National Treasure and Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl, and Dead Man's Chest. And actually, screw it, the whole Pirates trilogy. Those are movies to get to know me by. I mean, that's like what I watched growing up. Miracle. I watched The Lion King. I watched the OG trilogy of Star Wars. These are all movies I watched growing up a ton. So, yeah, probably some of those. Yeah, good question, Ian. Most underrated and overrated Stranger Things character. Underrated, for me at least, that's tough. I would say most underrated character is Murray. Murray the Bald Eagle Bauman, and the most overrated character, I don't know if there is one. I hate to cop out like that, but I don't know if there's an overrated character. People would try and say Eddie. I disagree. It's one of the few shows where I deeply love and admire multiple characters. We're talking double-digit number of characters. And so honestly, I think that I would say there's no overrated character. If I had to pick one, maybe like Argyll. People are like, "How do you have Argyll so low on your list?" I'm like, "He's fine, he's funny, but he's nowhere near the main characters in my opinion." So I'd say Argyll, I guess, is overrated. All right. Keeping on with the chat here. Yes, I do think something will appear newly in the new. I mean, every season of Stranger Things, we've gotten something new, to my knowledge. You know, season 1 we had the Demogorgon. Season 2 we had Demodog. Season 3 we had the physical form Mind Flayer, correct? And season 4 we had Demo Bats and Vecna. Yeah, we'll get something. I don't know what, but we'll get something. I've seen Lock and Key from Maya. I have not seen Lock and Key. I've heard good things though. Let's see. When am I continuing my Disney journey? Again, I'm not sure. There's no rush for me to get back to it, but when I do, I will. You guys can see that on my letterbox, which is linked down below. By the way, if you guys are still in here, thank you so much. It's been 40 minutes. We got 112 people still hanging out. Hit that like button if you're in here or on the replay. It helps out more than you guys know. Super chat's the way to go to guarantee that I can get right to your question, comment, or concern, because I'm not going to be able to get to everything in the chat. So that goes a very long way. And yeah, I haven't talked about this, but I am going to MegaCon February 1st through February 4th. And there's going to be a Stranger Things panel there with myself and some other YouTubers who you definitely know. And we're going to be talking Stranger Things theories, live discussion, debate. It's a live video recording, live streamed likely. So if you guys come attend, it's free to attend the panel. We can interact with you, talk theories. I can meet a lot of you guys. It'll be fun. So if you're at MegaCon in Orlando, February 1st to the 4th, Stranger Things panel, remember that. More info coming soon. Okay. I do not think Will turn against the group. I think that would be pretty wild, honestly. It'd be a big twist. Who I'm most excited to meet at Comic-Con? Gaten and Finn. I'm so excited to meet them. I've never really met anyone from the Stranger Things cast. I met, technically met Joseph Quinn. I mean, very briefly for a photo, and then very briefly when he signed a Funko Pop of Cam's. But I mean, I also met Carrie Elways, who's Mary Larry Klein in season 3, but I haven't met any of the main people. So at MegaCon, meeting Gaten and Finn, that's Mike and Dustin. Come on now. How can you not get excited about that? So I'm pumped. I am pumped for that. And then hopefully in Atlanta Comic-Con in February, I'll meet some more Cobra Kai folks. Because I have a Cobra Kai autograph collection. All right. The limo driver from Die Hard. Yeah, I was thinking that too. Great little inside nod there to that movie. Great film. Let's see. Could you do another Stranger Things video showing all of your Stranger Things Funko Pop collection with Cam, because the new wave is great? I'll probably do that when season 5 comes out, because then I hopefully collect a lot more by then. But I have a good bit of new ones since that video, but I'll save that for a rainy day, or save it for when we get to season 5 or Stranger Things Day. Rylan in the house. What's good, Rylan? Hope you're doing well, man. My question is, what is your favorite quote from a 2023 film? Damn good question. Really good one, man. I'm going to have to look at my Letterboxd top 10 to see what the hell I watched last year, because I always forget when I get on these things. All right. Ooh. Okay. Snowlands on Top is up there for me from Ballad. That's up there for me at this moment in time. Also, the ending of Oppenheimer. The whole exchange between him and Albert. Those are two of my favorite quotes from the year. Again, that's really just off the top of my head, but those are definitely in contention for best quotes of 2023 movies. What's a movie that no matter how many times you watch it, it always makes you cry? The Lion King, for sure. Forrest Gump, for sure. And there's others that I can't think of, but the Guardians 3 more recently, for sure. All right, let's see. I've never seen The Umbrella Academy, surprisingly. I know that might sound crazy. It's a popular Netflix show, but I haven't watched it. I've heard really good things. I just never checked it out for whatever reason. Do you think The Batman will ever be your favorite comic book movie? It has a chance to become mine. Maybe years from now, but I have, I don't know. The thing that holds it back from probably taking that spot outright is just rewatchability. If something's my outright favorite, I got to be able to watch it any time of day. And I do have to be in a specific mood to watch The Batman. Andrew says, thoughts on Oppenheimer not being nominated for VFX? Theft, in my opinion. I legitimately don't understand why it isn't. I don't. I mean, if you watch it, it's insane the amount of work that went into make the visual effects for the film. The visions Oppenheimer has, like all the behind the scenes work, it's crazy. They had a special IMAX lens made to shoot some of this stuff. I mean, Nolan's like off screen waving around this like glow stick contraption for one of the scenes. It's incredible. And I don't know why it's not nominated for VFX. If 1917 can get nominated for VFX, what are we doing? What are we doing? All right. That's all I'm saying about that. What's up, JJ? How you doing? By the way, again, I'm way behind in the chat. I won't be able to get to everything. So super chat's the way to go to guarantee I can get right to your questions. It's also a huge way to help support me directly. And hit that like button if you guys are in here. Hit that like button and subscribe. There you go. You got the right idea. Let's see. Scrolling. Eddie Munson is a vampire. I don't know about all that. There's definitely a world where he could be, but we'll have to see. Do we know Linda Hamilton's role? We do not, but I have theorized that she's some sort of military leader or general, but we'll have to see. I mean, her being at that cast photo is wild to me. I would have thought she would not be there and she would be like less important, but she's the new character of the season, so she could have a bigger role than any of us ever expected. All right. Top 5 Star Wars movies in no order. We got the original trilogy, Revenge of the Sith, and The Force Awakens, probably. That's 5 right there. In no order, by the way. In no specific order. All right. Water break, I got you. Cheers. The Town of The Departed. Give me The Departed any day of the week. The Town's a really solid movie, but I go The Departed over it. I mean, it's got it's more rewatchable and it's got the better cast, in my mind. Do I think Dustin or Lucas will die? I do not. I think they're both very, very safe characters. I don't know why they would kill either of those off. All right, let's see. I have seen Echo. I have a review dropping after this live stream. I got to finish editing it. But I've seen Echo, and I will be posting a review today. So if you guys have been asking about Echo, definitely, stay on the lookout because I will have a review of it. If you want to hear my 2 cents on Echo, my in-depth thoughts on Echo. I have seen Bohemian Rhapsody. I'm not a fan. Not a fan. So to answer your question here, Avery, yes. Netflix Marvel's canon. It's now canon, in my opinion, and according to Marvel, according to Disney Plus, it's canon. And I got some homework to do if I want to watch, all the other shows. But I've seen Daredevil and I've seen The Punisher. What's your opinion on the Percy Jackson series so far? I really like it. I got to watch the new episode. I haven't watched it yet. It dropped last night, but I enjoy it thoroughly. I think that the cast is perfect. Like Walker Scobell embodies Percy Jackson, and it has that sense of adventure where you're like, this is something special. And I could get used to this for a few more seasons. So, yeah, I think Percy Jackson has been great so far. I got to watch the new app. I'll probably watch that tonight, but I have some things to do. I still got to edit and post my Echo review and edit a short. So, got a few more things to film and edit, but I'll get to that tonight, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Oh, it seems like a lot of you guys have been asking about Echo here in the chat. I will have my review tonight. I did watch The Last of Us. Thoroughly enjoyed it. One of the best shows of the last year, comfortably, in my opinion. Comfortably. I don't even know what this is. Brush cut. I haven't heard of that, but if I see a trailer, I could maybe give my, my 2 cents on that. All right, let's see. Looking for a question here. All right. By the way, thank you guys so much for tuning into the stream. We're still going strong here, but hit the like button if you're in here right now. Do it. Do it. And if you're on the replay, I know time zones, it's like the middle of the night for some of you folks. To be honest, the who ends up with who is not what I'm worried about. I just want an awesome season ending like the other 4. Yeah, I agree. I honestly like, I have faith in the Duffer Brothers. Whatever they do, I just have a strong belief will be the right thing and it will work the best for characters. And I just think that I trust them. I haven't played Spider-Man 2 yet, but I own it. And it's honestly looming over my head. I want to play the game. I just haven't yet. All right, let's see. Top 3 Scream characters. Give me Randy. Give me Stu. Give me Sam and Tara together. I always do this thing where I'm like, is it Tara or is it Tara? I don't even know. I don't even know at this point. I just say one or the other every other time. What's your favorite car? I don't really have a favorite car, but growing up, I thought Ferraris were cool. I was like, oh, I want to drive a Ferrari one day. And then I got older and was like, don't want to do that. Is it blasphemy that Zac Efron didn't get a SAG nom? I think so. He's one of the best performances of the year easily. He's not going to get a nomination at the Oscars, unfortunately. I just think not enough people saw the movie and it didn't go to enough like festivals early on. So word of mouth wasn't there. But no, I think Zac Efron, it's a crime if he doesn't get an Oscar nomination. And we should go ahead and accept that he's not going to as a society. Sorry, let me fix the glare. He's probably not going to. It's a bummer, but what can you do? Gary Oldman, Commissioner Gordon, or Gary Oldman, Sirius Black? Sirius Black, pretty easily. I mean, he's really great as Commissioner Gordon, but when I think of Gary Oldman, I think of him, first of all, as a chameleon. He transforms into these roles as an actor, but physically, I mean, half the time, I'm like, wait, that's Gary Oldman? Like, he's an Oppenheimer, for those who forget. I forget he's even in the movie every time I watch it. And I've seen it 3 times. He transforms physically for these roles. So I would say Gary Oldman, the best role for me is Sirius Black. And the love that he has for Harry, it's heartbreaking. And in the 5th Harry Potter film, I'm going to tear up thinking about it right now when he's like, I don't even want to talk about it anymore. Sorry. Whew. Have I ever watched Prison Break? I have not. I've heard it's super binge-worthy and then it falls off, so that's why I haven't watched it. Same applies to Lost. I've heard season 1's like really binge-worthy and then it falls off, so that's why I haven't watched it. Favorite NFL team? I don't have one. I just don't care. I'm a player guy now in the NFL. I like the Georgia Bulldog in college football is my lifelong team. But in terms of NFL, I don't care, man. I just don't. I have teams I root against. I have players I root for and root against, but I don't have a team. And that's freeing, let me tell you. If I had to pick 3 characters in Stranger Things, who are you picking? Hopper, Steve, Dustin. In terms of like my favorites, like if I could only save 3, it'd be them. Favorite Alfred portrayal? Damn good question, Gavin. Michael Caine, Andy Serkis, or Jeremy Irons? I filed you, Master Wine. Michael Caine. Michael Caine with ease. And then I'd go Serkis, and then I'd go Irons. Jeremy Irons is barely Alfred. They kind of wasted him, too. In fact, most of the DCEU casting was a complete waste of everyone's time and just did not amount to anything, unfortunately. I like these questions, though. If you guys keep asking these, this is going to be a fun remainder of the stream. Keep asking me Roles played by multiple actors and who I prefer. I like that. That's a new type of question. That feels fresh. I dig it. Avery says thoughts on Daredevil Born Again. Excited. I'm excited because it is 18 episodes. It's I believe going to be TVMA, and I have faith it can restore something from that Netflix show. It won't be as good, but I think Kingpin was one of the better parts of Echo. He felt out of place and sort of just there to set up Daredevil Born Again and the street level stuff in New York. But that being said, I think that D'Onofrio is great in that role. And when we get Daredevil, it'll resemble the Netflix show a little bit more. All right. Jedi Connor, glad you enjoyed Wonka. And yes, Timothy's cover of Pure Imagination was really well done. He can sing. I did not know until I went and saw this movie that he really had it in him. Sup, brother? How you doing, Drew? Shout out, Drew. We were talking about Saban earlier. I am elated. I'm over the moon. Life, it just feels better ever since I got that news. Let me just be honest with you. Hey Chris, what's your pick for the worst movie franchise ever? Sorry, my nose itches. Arguably. Well, I was gonna say something, but let me give you some context here. It has to be long running. I feel like I can't just do like a 2-movie thing. Like a movie franchise is like 4 movies or more, because a trilogy is it really a franchise? If it's a trilogy, it's just 3 movies, like the Dark Knight trilogy. We're talking like Star Wars, Pirates of the Caribbean, Harry Potter. Those are movie franchises. And so if I am to answer this truthfully, there's 2 that come to mind. And I'm thinking quality of film over a prolonged period of time. And I think the worst movie franchise ever that's still going is it's either I think it's probably the Fast and Furious franchise, because you look at the highs versus the lows there. The lows far outnumber the highs. I think the first Fast and Furious is a solid movie. I think Fast 5 is a solid movie. I even enjoy stuff like Hobbs and Shaw. I think Furious 7 is a nice send off to Paul Walker. But consistently, and where we are now with Fast X and Fast 9 and Furious 8, yikes. The 4th one's bad. The 3rd one's bad. Yikes. I mean, I just think Fast and Furious is up there. I won't drop the other one. I don't want to light that fire right now, but Fast and Furious is probably the worst movie franchise that's had such a long run, in my mind. If we're just talking quality of movie, film to film, that's probably the worst franchise ever. To me, at least. To each their own. All right. Any movies from 2001 on your watch list? It's a very specific question. Let me actually look. I'm actually going to go look. I don't know. When I think of 2001, the year, I think of Training Day. Was that 2001? I think of A Beautiful Mind was 2001, I want to say. Like, I think of random movies. Let's see. I technically have one movie on my IMDb watch list, and it's Moulin Rouge, or however the hell you say it. Moulin Rouge, I don't know how the hell you say it. It's a musical. That's from 2001. It's technically on my watch list. So there you go. Do I like the way Ted Lasso ended? I do. I thought Ted Lasso had a nice ending. It brought everything full circle. Everyone I felt had a satisfying conclusion. Do I think season 3 was the weakest of the 3? Yes. But the way it ended, I was satisfied. I was heartwarmed. I was like, this is perfect for Ted. It's perfect for AFC Richmond. Everyone got their proper send-off and rode off into the sunset in a way. I liked the way that ended, personally. Are you going to do those filming locations again? We might when season 5 rolls around, but for now, I think we're good. We kind of covered the ones we wanted to go to. Maybe one final send-off would be fun. When season 5 rolls around, I'll have even more, consistent Stranger Things content like that. But we'll see. It's definitely not out of the question. Definitely not out of the question. All right. Who do I think is winning the Super Bowl? I don't really care. If I had to put money on it right now, if I had to pick one team who I think will win the Super Bowl, that's in the playoffs, obviously. Playoffs start this weekend. I would say, It's so tough, It's like it's either the Niners or the Ravens. It's a very basic answer. I know that. But I'd be shocked if one of those two didn't win the Super Bowl. That being said, neither of them probably will. There you go. I just don't care that much this year. It's weird. I just don't. Like, I don't even know if I'll watch this weekend. Like, we'll see. Maybe. Kind of in a movie TV mood right now. I'm kind of burnt out on football. I get this way in January usually. All right. Let's see. I have not seen J. Edgar, but I have heard of it. Isn't that a Clint Eastwood directed film with Leo? All right, let's see. I like Coldplay. My favorite song from Coldplay would probably be. They've got a lot of good ones. The one from TASM, what's it called? Hold on. Coldplay. I think it's called Till Kingdom Come. Yeah. Till Kingdom Come's a good one. I like that. Paradise, I like. Clocks. Those are some good ones from Coldplay. Viva La Vida. And they have some good music for sure, in my opinion. Do I think Mike will be the only Wheeler to survive? No. His family's safe. I don't know why. Or Nancy and Mike, one of them could bite the dust, but why would Ted go? Why would, Holly go? That's the youngest, I believe. I don't know why they would do that. So no. I think that a lot of them are safe. All right. Happy New Year to you as well, Sharon. I do plan to do a Blu-ray collection video. I don't know when. Usually I would have done it by now, but I think I'm saving it for a rainy day. I think I will save it for maybe later in January when some things slow down a bit. Maybe when I'm at MegaCon, I'll post it. So that way it's like a video while I'm out of town. But excuse me, I will have it out at some point. Who are three main characters that deserve more Funko Pops? Damn good question here, by the way. Love it. Love it. I would say. I would honestly say Nancy deserves more. I would say she only has, she has technically the season 1 pop. I don't think she got another pop until season 4. I could be off there. If you combine the pops here and with my girlfriend, we have the Nancy pop and we also have the Robin and Nancy 2-pack from season 4. So Nancy deserves more pops. I would say Murray doesn't even have a pop for some reason. I don't know why. And then I would say we need more pops. We have plenty of Steve. We have plenty of, the main guys. Honestly, I would say give us more pops of. I'm just trying to think here. Definitely we need a Murray pop. We need more Nancy pops. I'd say Jonathan. He only has like 2. I think he has one from one of the newer lines from season 4, and then he's got one from season 1 with a camera. So they probably deserve more pops. Let's see. Alrighty. Water break. Cheers. Do you think Netflix should restore the Snyderverse, or should we all forget it and move on? Everyone needs to forget that and move on for the better. The ship sailed. It's done. It is done, in my opinion. All right. Rogue One is not in my top 5 Star Wars movies, referring back to earlier. I like the movie, but it's not in my top 5. Chris, there was a big storm where I live yesterday. How was it for you? Yeah, it rained like monsooned from like Monday night all through yesterday. The winds were whipping. It was flooding. My window in my house, this happens sometimes when it rains really hard. The water like got under it. It was like coming up and like dripping. It was weird. It happens like rarely, but it happened then. So yeah, it was storming where I live. It stormed a lot of places I see across the US the past few days. So I hope everyone has stayed safe. Ian with the super chat. Shout out, Ian. Top 3 Leo movies. I got you. I was asked this on a stream with Trevor recently, and I forgot one. And it's not happening again. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. All right. I always forget the movie when I'm listing things. I think it's just because I'm so comfortable with that movie. I'm like, oh, yeah. I assume it's there. I always just forget to mention it out loud. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. The Departed. All right. Those 2 comfortably. And then I think I have to say The Wolf of Wall Street. All right. Those are going to be my 3. But, nope. Sorry. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, The Departed, Inception. Those are my top 3 Leo movies. Then if I had to go 5, I'd go Wolf, and the other one, that's where we get into the it's tough territory. But those 4 comfortably are my 4 Leo movies. Thank you for the question. Thank you for the super chat, Ian. Again, if you guys are in here, hit the like button. It helps out a lot. And super chat, that's the way to go. I saw Ian's question. Boom, I clicked it right away, and it's a huge way to help support me. I'm going to try and get through as many of these as I can, though. All right. You absolutely need to start watching Umbrella Academy. I think you'd really enjoy the superhero vibe. I've got a buddy who's watched the show. And I've heard some good things from fellow content creators out there, but I've never watched it on my own. So we'll see. It's on a long list, guys. Like, I have so many shows I'm trying to watch through. I gotta watch some iconic ones before I can watch Umbrella Academy. So maybe one day I'll get around to this. But it's not like high on the food chain. I don't know if that makes sense. It just sounded cool. It's not high on the priority list. Just wanted to switch it up a bit there with what I was saying. All right. Have you ever been an extra in anything? Do you want to someday? I've never been an extra in anything, but it would be really cool. I would love to add that to the bucket list. Like be an extra in something. I applied to be an extra in Stranger Things. I don't think I heard back from them, but that's okay. It kind of makes sense, though. I feel like if they did any research, they'd be like, we do not want this guy near here because he has an audience where he could talk to strangers about this with people, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, I might look into applying to be an extra on Cobra Kai. And I also just haven't really applied much at all for extras. So it'd be cool to just go to set and be like, wow, I am a part of this technically. That would be neat. But I've never done it. I have never actually done it. Who are Netflix and Disney Plus icons? Maybe I'm a lunatic, but on Netflix, I don't have anything. It's just, I didn't know you could even change it, to be honest with you. I probably need to look into that. It's just a smiley face. Disney Plus is, any guesses? Mando. Yeah, this is the way. It's Mando. He's just too cool. All right, even though season 3 was which, by the way, no one's, I had Mando and Grogu on the thumbnail. No one has even brought that up this stream, unless I missed it. There's a lot of questions I didn't get to. But the Mandalorian and Grogu being a movie kind of baffles me. I genuinely think it's a mistake. I don't know where others stand with that. I don't really care. This is my opinion. This is a Disney Plus show. And you're taking this character from a show, a subscription service, and putting it on the big screen and expecting people, everyone who goes to the movies, to have Disney Plus and have watched every season of this show to understand what's going on. No, that's not happening. So yeah, when someone, and I hate to be, I don't even want to be negative about it. Like I really do root for Star Wars. I'm just telling you how I see this going down, and I hope I'm wrong. So whenever The Mandalorian Grogu comes out and underperforms at the box office, who's to blame? Whoever made the decision to put this in theaters, because it's built its fan base following on Disney Plus. It's not built at the box office. If The Mandalorian had been a trilogy of films, obviously it'd make sense to make another one, but it's a television show. I guess they have faith in it being able to light it up at the box office, but you're telling me everyone has watched The Mandalorian? I know a lot of people have watched The Mandalorian. Not everyone has Disney Plus. Not nowhere near the amount of people have Disney Plus that are able to just walk into a theater and buy a ticket. So I think it's a mistake. But topic for another time, maybe. Great Escape or Papillon, both good. Great Escape, though. That's one I watched with my dad all the time growing up. I think that was like the first exposure I had to Steve McQueen. That and like The Magnificent Seven. So Austin Butler or Kurt Russell as Elvis? I have never seen the Elvis film. And Kurt Russell, excuse me, did he play Elvis? I do not know. So I have no answer to this question, unfortunately. What's your favorite episode of Seinfeld? Mine's probably the limo. Great question here. It's tough. The contest is like one of the more iconic. I literally had a class in college where I had to watch the episode, the contest. It was like a TV class I took. And we just went through different types of TV, and that was one. I didn't actually watch a lot of the things we were told to watch. It was an online class, and I actually took like 20 minutes out of my day to watch that, though. It was just writing. Like, we just wrote. It was like a discussion-based thing, so it was kind of a free credit. But I did it, and I actually spent my time watching that episode because it's incredible. Rewatching too, because I'd seen a lot of Seinfeld, but But yeah, we'll go for a little bit longer here if the questions keep on coming in. And again, if you're in here, this helps out more, hitting that like button. So do it. All right. Let's see. Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna get more set picks. Like, honestly, frequently. I imagine we'll have more photo dumps from Ross Duffer, and we'll get more teases, and even like, unfortunately, no, yeah, I think we'll get some paparazzi picks too, but we'll see. I have not seen the new Fargo. I heard Joe Keery's great in it. I've considered watching it just for him, but I'm the kind of guy who's like, well, I have to watch all the other Fargo seasons, even though I know I don't because it's technically anthology, right? But even then, I'm like, I'm kind of a completionist about things like that. My favorite Harry Potter film is the third, Prisoner of Azkaban. Has to be. Do I think Mission Impossible, whatever it's called, so MI8 or MITBD, I do think it will be a really good entry, but I don't know if anything's ever going to top Fallout for me. But I think it'll be a great entry. I thought Dead Reckoning Part 1 was great. Connor says, what do you think about the college football playoff outcomes? Also, Saban retired. Also, do you think FSU still need to be in the playoffs? Yeah, I think Georgia should have been in, obviously. I think they were one of the 5 best. I talked about some of my buddies. Yeah, I think they could have replaced Texas. Texas got in because of a reason out of anyone's control. They had the head-to-head over Bama, and so they were like, oh, we have to put Texas in over Bama. Georgia would have beat Texas, Washington, and Michigan. I don't care. I don't. I'll die on the hill. And that's my opinion. I know a lot of people who are not Georgia fans who share the same opinion that I've talked to. So, yeah, it is what it is. But Nick Saban being gone, good riddance. I wish him well. He's the best, but it's Kirby's time. I think it's Kirby's time. I cannot wait. I was so awfully I was like, oh, Georgia goes to Alabama next year. We're gonna lose. Now I want to go in there and whoop their ass, and that's in September. Yeah, this year, next season, technically. What do you want Nolan's next movie to be? Let it be a Bond film. I embrace that. I know people in the chats have always said it should be Bond. Some people are like, no, he should stay away from Bond. Give me him as the next Bond director. I am so down. A Bond trilogy, mind you. That would be sick. Again, thank you guys so much for the support on the stream. It's been a damn fun one. And I have an Echo review dropping tonight. So if you haven't hit the notification bell, you should, because you'll be notified right when it goes live. Top five of the boys characters. That was a tongue twister for some reason. In no order, like the best characters from this show in no order. Homelander, Butcher, Starlight. I'll go Soldier Boy, to be honest. And then I probably would say probably Huey. Nolan collaborating with Duffer Brothers, imagine. Let Nolan direct an episode of Stranger Things. That would be wild. That would be nuts. Let me tell you. I have not seen Hustle with Adam Sandler. My friends have recommended it. Favorite Jim Carrey movies? Gotta be The Truman Show. Gotta be. Favorite portrayal of Spider-Man? I'm gonna go with Andrew Garfield. I think he's my favorite. But I love Toby. I love Tom, and I'm very, very moody about that. I will answer that differently every other week. But I really am just the way that Andrew delivers those lines and the quips in the suit. I gotta go with him. Billy Butcher with powers versus Homelander to the death. Who's winning? That's so tough, but I think I still lean Homelander. I just do. I think I just lean Homelander. It'll be Who's your favorite Guardians of the Galaxy character? Give me Rocket Raccoon. Pirates of the Caribbean rules. Saban is still the greatest college football coach of all time. Yeah, I never said he wasn't. He definitely is. And I think we can all acknowledge that. For sure he is, yeah. But he's not. If he's not the active coach, who's the best active coach is the question I would ask. Kirby. With Saban out of the picture, it's Kirby, in my opinion. All right. In my opinion, the best movie franchise is Harry Potter. Yeah, I think it's probably the most consistently great movie franchise we've ever witnessed, where there's like no real drops in quality. It's just greatness through 8 films. I would probably agree with that. What's the saddest death in Stranger Things? It's probably Eddie. Yeah, Max's death and Hopper's death, they weren't really deaths, right? But those are up there too. Hopper, when Eleven's reading that letter, my God, that gets the tears going. I have watched Godzilla -1. I have a review on my channel, actually, Julius, if you're interested in checking it out. But I thoroughly enjoyed. I have not watched The Whale. I have not seen that one. Most underrated Ted Lasso character? I'll go with... Let's see. No, I was going to say Jamie Tart, but I feel like he's a fan favorite, so I can't say Jamie. Roy Kent's obviously not underrated. I would go with... let me check real quick. I name's escaping me, and it's bothering me. It's gonna pop in my head right when I see it on IMDb. Name's escaping me. The most underrated character in Ted Lasso. I'm going with Isaac. Isaac McAdoo. All right. Let's see. I appreciate that, Peter. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Keep Watch Burn. X-Men, like the first X-Men film, Spider-Man 2002 and Hulk. Keep Spider-Man, watch X-Men, burn Hulk. I've actually never seen Ang Lee's Hulk. I'm pretty sure Ang Lee directed that. So I have not even watched that. And that X-Men film's not unwatchable, but it's pretty bad. From what I remember, it's one of the worst X-Men films to me, which is apparently a hot take. That Spider-Man movie, though, is special. It is special, in my opinion. Are you meeting the Cobra Kai cast at Comic-Con in 2024? I plan to hopefully meet some of them at Atlanta Comic-Con in about a month. Potentially Jacob Scott Thomas Bertrand, who plays Hawk, Gianni DiCenzo, I believe is how you say his name, or DiCenzo, who plays Dimitri. So the Binary Brothers, I'd meet them. Peyton List, who plays Tori, hopefully. I hope to meet all of them in Atlanta Comic-Con in about a month. All right. Let's see. Who are your top 5 Spider-Man villains? Green Goblin, Doc Ock, Sandman, Vulture, and Venom. I'm not like that's just in general. I'm not pinpointing this version of the character from this comic or this version of the character from this game or this movie. That's just in general. Green Goblin, Doc Ock, Sandman, Vulture, and Venom. Some honorable mentions would be Scorpion and Electro, and Mysterio. He's got a lot of great villains. So that's a real question, is like, who has the better, what do they call it? There's a word they use it. Rogue gallery, I think, of villains. Batman or Spider-Man? And I lean Spider-Man. Batman has Penguin, Riddler, Joker, a lot of great ones, but I think Spider-Man's are a little cooler. What day is Stranger Things Day? November 6th. Celebrating. November 6th, 1983 is the day Will Byers went missing. That's why it's that day. All right. My favorite sports movie is Remember the Titans, and it always will be. It always will be. They will remember forever the night they played the Titans. I love the Shawshank Redemption. It's an all-timer. An all-timer. I hope we've had a good New Year so far as well. If you could bring back either Alexi or Bob in Stranger Things, who would it be? Give me Smirnoff. I love Bob, newbie, superhero, but give me Smirnoff. That would be so cool to see him come back. And that's one of the sadder deaths. It's just so quick and it's unexpected. And you're like, damn, they killed him. It's really upsetting. Lucas clutching up with his wrist rocket in season 5 would give me chills. That would be a callback if I've ever seen one. That would honestly probably give me chills too. Water break, I got you. Prequels or sequels? Prequels. I'm a prequel trilogy truther. And I'm not ashamed of it. I'm going to post reaction videos when season 5 comes out. It's potential. I'm not 100% on that, but likely to the finale, if anything. But I probably will do them all. I just haven't decided yet. Disney World or Universal Studios? Disney World I have more nostalgia for because I actually went there as a child and went there, on and off growing up. And Universal I didn't go to for the first time until I was 20 years old. But Universal's got Harry Potter, it's got some awesome rides, and it's just I think, I don't know, it's tough. I think I'll always say Disney just because of nostalgia, really. And there's the extra level of immersion at Disney, like the magic. But Universal is so much fun, and there is that escapism with Harry Potter as well. So I would say it depends on the person. If you're into more like big roller coaster rides, then go Universal. But Disney, there's undeniably more magic. Yeah, bring it on. That's what I say to this. Water break again. I'm doing well. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's been an hour and 20 minutes. What do you think the best quote from Ted Lasso is? Be a goldfish. It's very important to be a goldfish. You know, you got to forget the bad, move on in life, and you can't dwell on the past because what's done is done. You got to move on. Memory of a goldfish. All right. Let's see. All right, I'll take a few more questions here, like 5 more. So get them in if you can. And super chat's the way to go. If you're dying to ask me something, if I've missed a question, it'll pop up right away and I can get down to it. But hit the like button if you guys are in here live or on the replay. It helps out more than you know. This has been an incredible stream, been a lot of fun, and I appreciate all you guys tuning in. I'll have an Echo review dropping soon, but I will take a few more questions before we wrap this thing up. And again, there was no way I was going to get to everything in the chat, so apologies if I missed your question. What actor would you like to see lead a Nolan film? Good question here. I would go. Let's see. We've had Leo, we've had McConaughey, we've had Killian, we've had Christian Bale, we've had Guy Pearce, we've had Pacino. Who else have we had? We've had, Hugh Jackman. I would say. No, maybe. It'd be cool to see Bradley Cooper pair up with him. It'd be cool to see Ryan Gosling pair up with him. That would be something neat. I'd say one of those two men. But also, I think Emma Stone would really crush it in a lead role of a Nolan film. That would be awesome. And all those people are in the Oscar conversation this year. So how about that? I kind of did that intentionally if you didn't know. Let's see. I watched Blue Bloods a long time ago. I haven't watched it in years. It's that CBS network TV show. But I haven't watched it in years. Opinions on the Minecraft movie? Yeah, I guess I'll watch it. I'm kind of like, I've played Minecraft. Who hasn't, right? We're all familiar with it. I don't really know if I don't really care about it. And I don't mean that in a mean way. I just don't know if I really care about it. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. I salute you. Thank you for the support. Let's see. Water break. Cheers. Do you think John Bernthal in the MCU as the Punisher will still be great? I hope so, and I would trust that if he's coming back, it's going to be just as kick-ass as he was in the show and in Daredevil. I don't know if anything will top the original Punisher or his moments in Daredevil, but if it can be just as good, that's a win for me. My review of Echo is dropping soon. I know a lot of you guys have asked about it. So I will have a review coming very, very soon, like today, in the next few hours. It'll be up. It'll be up. All right, let's see. I'll take like 2 more questions. 2 more questions. What do you use to rate TV shows? I use serialized. Also, how do you rate them? I don't. I just use my notes. I write down what I do, and I don't rate TV shows. I rate movies out of 5 on Letterboxd, but I don't rate TV shows, and I don't know if I ever will. If they come to Letterboxd, then I'll consider it, but I just kind of watch the TV shows, and I have my thoughts on them, but I don't like give them ratings typically, as I do with movies. My favorite Stranger Things season's got to be season 4 right now, at least. Even though I love season 3, my favorite Adam Sandler movie is probably like my favorite movie of his. Probably not even a comedy. I really like Uncut Gems, but his comedy movies, Happy Gilmore, if I had to pick one. All right, I will watch Mickey 17 whenever it comes out, if it ever even comes out. And the last one we'll take is kind of one we took early on. Will Steve die? I'm going to say right now, no. I think he'll get that happy ending and ride off into the sunset. But anything is possible. And if the Duffer Brothers want to be sick and twisted, which you know they can be, they'll kill them off and break all of our hearts. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. It's going to be fun. It's going to be one hell of a ride, too. And we'll have to wait and see. And I'll be covering it on my channel as we approach Season 5 and as Season 5 comes out. But that's going to do it for this live Q&A. We did almost an hour and a half tonight. It was a hell of a stream. We had like 130 people in here at one point, so thank you guys so much if you came in here live or if you're here on the replay, because I know time zones exist. I really do appreciate the support. Hit the like button if you're in here right now. I got 88 folks in here. Hit that like button if you're here on the replay. Hit that like button. Thank you guys so much. If you sent in a question, if you watched, if you liked, if you sent a super chat, that goes further than you will ever know. It really does mean a lot. But stay tuned for more content coming very, very soon, including a review of Echo dropping tonight. I'm very excited for that to get out. So hopefully you guys watch it right when it drops. Check it out. Comment your thoughts on the show. But I'm excited to share that with y'all. And busy week for content. I'll have more videos soon. So I appreciate you guys' support more than you'll ever know. It's been fun. 2 streams in 2024 or 2024. Yeah, that's the year we're in. Let's keep this streak going. But that's going to do it. Everyone take care. Have a good night. Stay safe out there if the weather's hectic. And I will see you in an hour or so in my review of Echo. But until then, peace.